Hi everyone, welcome back to your 30 days of Hypopressives. I'm Alice. Today's day 18 and a little treat for you all, for those of you particularly who've worked with me before or you've been following along on YouTube for a while. Our focus today is strong and we are going to use a weight. If you don't have a weight, don't worry, you can use a ball. So you'd be inhaling, softening on the ball, exhale, squeezing. You could always hold like a water bottle, that'll be fine. We're just looking at using weights to add a little bit of extra to the Hypopressives vacuum, but really focusing on maintaining that vacuum throughout and not losing it. So you want to keep the weights very low. Okay, so we're going to start in standing. So your feet are going to be hip distance apart, knees are soft, pelvis is in neutral. I'm going to hold my weighted ring just at kind of chest height here. That suits me really well. And we're going to start here with a really lovely slow breath all the way through the rib cage. Inhale. Exhale and lengthen. Breathing into the sides and into your back. And exhale. One more here. Exhale. Hold your breath. Stretch your ribs. Lovely. And just feel, if you're using a lightweight, what difference it's making to how the vacuum feels compared to how it normally feels. Make sure that you're able to do the rib stretch, and if you're not, take the weight away or reduce the weight so you can still maintain the vacuum. Okay, so inhale, we're going to come onto tiptoes. Exhale, come down. And then one more inhale, coming onto tiptoes. Exhale, coming down. And then hold your breath. Stretch your ribs. Make sure you're happy with how the vacuum's feeling. Really nice and tall, chin back. Make sure you're keeping your alignment, and then inhale and exhale. Lovely. Inhale, coming onto tiptoes. Exhale, coming down. One more here. Inhale, coming up onto tiptoes. Exhale, coming down. Hold your breath. Stretch your ribs. And then if you're happy with the vacuum for the last one, we're just going to come nice and slowly onto tiptoes. So you've got the tiptoes, you've got the weight. So you work on your balance and your core. See how that feels. Make sure you're happy with how it feels, or just come back onto the flats of your feet. Inhale, exhale, come down. Lovely. So inhale, coming up. Exhale, coming down. One more here. Inhale. Exhale. Hold your breath. Stretch your ribs, and then coming onto tiptoes. Nice and controlled. Obviously it makes it quite a lot harder with the weight. Just adding a little bit of strength training to the Hypopressives. Inhale, exhale, come down. So we're going to come into the 90-90 kneeling. So you're going to have your foot tucked under at the back. You've got your foot facing forwards at the front with the ankle below the knee there. Pelvis is facing forward, so check you're in a really good alignment there. Really nice and tall. And then we're going to do the first one here. So inhale. Exhale. One more breath here. Exhale. Hold your breath. Stretch your ribs. Really nice and tall through the top of the head. Check you're happy with how the vacuum's feeling with the weight, if you're using one. And as I said, if not, just reduce the weight. And then inhale when you're ready. Nice slow exhale. And then one more breath here. Exhale. Hold your breath. Stretch your ribs. Lovely. Hold that there for as long as it's comfortable, and then we're going to switch over. So right foot forwards, pelvis forwards. Hold. If you're doing a weight, hold it right at the front here. Inhale. Exhale. One more breath here. Exhale. hold your breath, stretch your ribs, really nice and tall through the top of the head there. Lovely. And then inhale when you're ready. Exhale. One more breath here. Exhale. Hold your breath. Stretch your ribs. Maintaining length. Check the chin is back. Check your ribs stay nice and wide. Inhale when you're ready. So just going to pop the weight to the side and we're going to come into quadruped, rocking and then into an arm extension here. So inhale, rocking back. Exhale, coming forwards. One more here. Exhale. Hold your breath. Stretch your ribs, and we're just going to come into an arm lift there. Feel that length all the way through the spine. Inhale. Exhale, bring that arm back in. Inhale, coming back. Exhale, forwards. One more breath here. Exhale. Hold your breath, stretch your ribs, taking the weight with the left hand, and then you're going to bring the right arm up into that long position there. Inhale when you're ready, and then pop the hand back down. And this time we're going to do a longer rock back. So inhale, rocking back a bit further. Exhale, coming forwards. And then one more, inhale, coming back up. Further there, exhale, and then hold your breath, stretch your ribs, and then bring the right arm up. Or you can press it forwards like this. Inhale, exhale, bring that arm in, and then again, another rock back. So inhale, longer rock back. Exhale. And then one more. Exhale, hold your breath, stretch your ribs, and then bring the right arm up, lengthening through the spine there. Surprisingly challenging how with the arm movements, with the vacuum, and then inhale. Exhale, bring that arm back in. So we are now going to do sitting cross-legged, and we're just going to hold the ring if you're using one. Or a water bottle. Okay, so nice and tall. Dorsiflex at the ankles and bring the knees a little bit up there. Make sure you're nice and tall through the top of the back there. Inhale. Exhale. One more breath here. Exhale. Hold your breath. Stretch your ribs. Keep really nice and tall. Again, you want to make sure that with the weight that you are effectively vacuuming, basically, effectively opening the ribs there. And then inhale. Exhale. One more breath here. Exhale. Hold your breath. Stretch your ribs. Nice and tall. And then inhale. Exhale. One more breath here. Exhale. Hold your breath. Stretch your ribs. Maintaining that height. Lovely. And then we're going to do legs extended. So if you want to grab something to sit on, then do. So legs extended again, holding the ring just at chest height there. Nice and close in. Inhale. Exhale. One more breath here. Exhale. Hold your breath. Stretch your ribs. Keep really nice and tall. Lovely. And then inhale. Exhale. One more breath here. Exhale. Hold your breath. Stretch your ribs. And if this position is a little bit too hard, then do come into a diamond position, which is just a little bit easier. I'll actually do my last one in this position. So inhale. Exhale. One more here. Exhale. Hold your breath. Stretch your ribs. Really nice and tall. And then inhale when you're ready. And then just pop that to the side. We're going to come down into floor stretch. So right foot over, right hand nearest to your chin. Inhale. Exhale. One more breath here. Exhale. Hold your breath. Stretch your ribs and then bring your arms up nice and slowly. Keep the back of the ribs on the floor there. Settle the shoulders into the ground. Make sure you haven't arched your back. And then inhale. Exhale. One more breath. Exhale. Hold your breath. Stretch your ribs. Feel that lovely sense of length and stretch through the vacuum there. And then when you're ready, we're going to switch over. So bring your arms down. We're going to put left foot over the right. Left hand nearest to your chin. 2 breaths. Inhale. Exhale. One more breath here. Exhale. Hold your breath. Stretch your ribs. Arms coming up all the way to the top. Keep your ribs on the floor. Settle the shoulders into the floor there. Keep the ribs nice and open. And then inhale. Exhale. And then one more breath here. Exhale. Hold your breath. Stretch your ribs. Nice and long. Through your spine, through the waist. Let the ribs really open. Inhale when you're ready. And we're going to bring the knees in. Slowly just rock from side to side. Slowly coming over. Thank you so much for joining me today. Hope you enjoyed that. A little bit of fun with using a weight. Looking forward to seeing you tomorrow for day 19. Let me know how you're getting on in the comments. I'd love to hear from you. Let me know how you got on if you were using a weight, how that went, and I'll see you tomorrow. Take care. Bye.